Jalen Brunson took off his belt, and I couldn't even keep a straight face here with it. But that's what literally what happened, especially in that first quarter. He took off his belt, and I think supposedly a fan was like heckling him or something like that because he kept looking at the stands. So, but hey,
Yeah, it was
whatever
somebody in the.
worked, it paid off. So Jalen Brunson, he put in 35 in Toronto, Canada, and the Knicks, they were in command. They were in command the entire game. And now that we're playing the Orlando Magic, which that should be a fascinating matchup. And they just finished playing a couple of days ago. So
Right.
um,
Like I said, like in the
OG
last show.
should throw a fastball himself to Desmond.
Oh, right. That's right. From the other day. Right. So, like we talked about on the last podcast, was the NBA Cup. The Knicks won their play, the Magic in Las Vegas. Brunson was sensational. He was the whole game. The Knicks. It wasn't an end-to-end win because Toronto had the early lead in the first quarter, but the Knicks got balanced scoring. Josh Hart had a big game. He rebounded with good shooting. He finished with 21 points. So everyone on the bench contributed. There was no Deuce McBride. The news on him is, from what we understand, good. At least it's a sprain. Nothing's broke, so he should be back. I don't know if he'll be back by the next one, the next play, Orlando. But I would say no. But he has a sprained left ankle. But the Knicks played well. They played well defensively too. So again, you got to give the Knicks credit. They went to Toronto, won the game.
Yeah, that was a very impressive victory. Very impressive. I like the way they played offensively. Offensively, they were great. So, do you think that the Orlando will be better this time against the Knicks, especially the fact, and mind you, they beat Miami Heat yesterday. And if I don't know if you saw highlights, but Miami Heat, they start off like a 15-0 to start in that first quarter, but then Desmond
Yeah,
Bain,
right.
and
Yeah, I
Orlando,
know
they
Miami.
just
Yeah, Miami was winning. I know that, because I seen that, and I seen the highlights of the game. But yeah, the Magic will be, they beat the Knicks already before earlier in the season, so we're not going to know what happens. Remember, there'd be no Deuce McBride, but I think the Knicks will, the Knicks have a good chance to go to the Cup final in a couple of days. And remember the other day, the Western teams are going to be, it's the Sun versus the Thunder, and it's the Spurs versus the Lakers. That'll be the Western Conference matchups for tonight. And of course, the winners of those two games will play each other, and then the winner of that will play either the Knicks or the Magic in the NBA Cup.
yeah. I mean, this in-season tournament is weird, but that's something we got to get used to it. So,
Yeah, like I
but
said, this is the third year. It's okay. It's all right. If you like basketball, then you love it.
now we come for the big one. Edwin Diaz, he says bye bye Queens, hello Tinseltown. 3 years, 69 a million,
Yep.
and you know I texted you as soon as I got the notification. The Mets had offered him 66 million. It was almost the same, but listen, good weather, money, plus they've won 3 titles already this decade. So listen, this is I'm gonna pull what my friend says. This is the Golden State Dodgers of Japan. I think that's how he called it. Golden State Dodgers of
Of
Japan.
Japan.
Because you have Otani, Yamamoto, Sasaki, and now
Right.
you have Golden
The
State Warriors the years ago, how they were
right.
dominant Kevin Durant, and
They had the
that's
big
what
three.
this team
Right.
is constructed. Um, Everybody's going there. Next thing you know, I'll get a notification. I can tell Marte will go over there. Everybody in the mother is gonna go over there. So,
Well,
like, listen. I mean, they're winning, so therefore I can't hate. They have the money they could spend. Is the second largest market in the United States. So if they're winning, then kudos to them. But I get that for the average fan, they're gonna be saying they're destroying baseball. But I mean, hey, and Toronto almost beat them, so and they should have beaten them. They had them,
Toronto
but
should have beat.
so
I mean, they had their chance, like we discussed. But okay, so here's the thing with the Diaz. The Mets offered him more money. If you after what came out after the initial, since that happened yesterday morning, there's been information on what was going on. The Mets offered him more money. He didn't even get back to the Mets. He didn't want to play with the Mets anymore. He didn't want to play with the Yankees. He wanted to go play in L.A. It's his better shot for winning a World Series. That's what it seems like it's coming out. And what came out today was he was upset. I'm not going to say he was upset because this is all hearsay, but according to reports from what I read and heard, that he was upset that the Mets got Devin Williams and they didn't consult him. That was part of what I'm hearing. And that he was worried that he might not be the closer, which is, I'm not going to say it's ridiculous, but if he would have stayed with the Mets, he's the closer. But you know that the thing was like the Dodgers have a super team. Remember, Tanner Scott was the big closer last year, and he didn't have a good year for the Dodgers. And before that, Devin Williams was the top closer. Before that, Josh Hader was the top closer. There's years Diaz wasn't good with the Mets. Remember, he got injured in the baseball tournament, right? The American tournament, whatever they do, right? Remember, he was jumping up and down when DR won, and he injured his ankle, so he missed that whole year with the Mets. And his first year with the Mets, he had a high ERA. Now, with that said, we all know he's one of the top closers and relief pitchers in baseball. But the Mets have to recover. They can go out and there's still a couple of guys you can go get out, go get in that ninth inning spot. Suarez. There's people you can go out and get. So, if I'm the Mets, am I worried? If that becomes a problem later on in the season, no. The Mets have other issues like starting pitching, another hitter. Is Alonso going to leave? So there's a lot on the Mets' plate to it doesn't matter because if you're losing, having a closer doesn't matter. His job is to win the game in the ninth inning. So you got to have a lead for that. So again, the Mets will figure it out. It is what it is. It happens.
And listen, when you're in your contract year, you tend to go all out and play hard and win. And Edwin Diaz, he did that. I mean, if I were to rate from 1 through 5 his time with the Mets,
He was good last year.
I'm gonna say overall. I'm saying overall his tenure with the
Yeah,
Mets.
yeah.
Overall, I can't give him higher than a 4.5. I'll say probably like a 4.1, 4.2 there. But it's not the end of the world that
It
they
was
lost
so-so,
him.
yeah, I agree.
It's not the end of the world that they lost him. And if he really thinks that he felt like the Mets disrespected him because they got Devin Williams, he clearly wasn't doing his homework. Devin Williams is not even close to good as Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz is not Mariano, but come on,
No
he's
one's
doing.
him. No one's
But
like him.
come on. Let's be real. Like he didn't do his homework. He wasn't paying attention. So if that were in case the truth, but Diaz, he's 31. Yes, he had a great season, 3-time All-Star. The Dodgers getting him was a no-brainer because they did stunk up the joint from a bullpen standpoint.
Right, they weren't great.
But it's not guaranteed that that he's gonna perform the same way that he did this past
Absolutely.
season with the Mets. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
That's the
That's what
beauty
I
about
mean.
sports, and
Right.
especially
Yeah,
in
we don't know.
baseball.
You don't
It's
know.
not guaranteed. We'll never know.
Yeah, you don't know. But again, the Mets too. Like, so if you asked me, what if I was the GM, and this is something that might be unpopular, I would use different people to close. I would like to have three guys, and then I would use different people in the ninth inning. I would sometimes use a lefty, sometimes I would use a righty. So I think that's more effective than always using the same guy over and over. But it is what it is because you have to have that mentality and skill to be a closer because they're going to throw everything at you in the ninth inning, the other team. So you're going to take more pitches. They're going to look for a first pitch fastball. So you have to factor that all in. You got to also be able to hold runners on. So all that factors into that. But again, I wouldn't just always worry about just one. You need a bunch of closers. And if you remember the great Yankee teams with Mariano Rivera, they had Wetland, they had Graham Lloyd. They had other people the Yankees would use too during those big Yankee championship years that would help offset some of that. So again, you need a good bullpen. You need a bunch of people.